Welcome to my TED Talk. My name is Paul. We are testing now the Lumix S5 for vlogging, and we're testing different modes. A camera has a mode dial with intelligent automatic, which almost no one uses when you use a $2,000 camera. And we have a dedicated film mode, we have aperture priority and S mode. And we have ND filter to be a professional filmmaker and to film everything in complete professional 180 degrees shutter rule with a perfect ISO of 640, base ISO to get the maximum dynamic range and everything. Today we're testing out if this is totally true, because this camera has these modes for a purpose. That's also photography modes, I know, but who says that we cannot film also on the A mode or S mode or even P mode or intelligent automatic? This camera has some pretty nice intelligent people behind it. Lumix makes some great cameras in my opinion, and they also doing great cameras for filming and photography, and we are testing now the different moduses. I think that you don't have to rely all the time on these modus. You don't have to rely on the dedicated film modus when you film something. You can use the 300 degrees angle shutter rule. Sometimes you have to know the 180 degrees shutter rule to know where it's for and what it stands for. But if you know the rules, you know when to break the rules. And I like to break the rules a lot. Also in my private life, not in my private life. I'm not a criminal. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the dedicated film mode on the Lumix S5. We are on 25 pictures per second in 4K. I have my shutter degree angle to 180 degrees cinematic mode, and I film with the professional ND filter to get professional vlog results. It's a completely blue sky and it's very bright. And now we have the exposure set to my face in AFC focus mode, and we are on ISO 100 currently because it's a blazing bright sky. Now we have we film in 8-bit 4K 25 pictures per second. Now comes a cloud above the sky, and we are on ISO 160. Now we're going inside because we're doing a vlog and we want to be very versatile with our camera. Now we close the door and we're on f2.8 and ISO 60,000. When I go inside, I have to remove now my ND filter, the URT variable ND filter from 2 to 400 to have better results. And uno momento, zack. We are on ISO 400, 300, 250 again. I go now inside and I have ISO 400, ISO 1000 at the inside. And maybe when I go now in a dark bathroom, camera loses a bit focus. I have my focus set to speed and maximum Feinheit and maximum speed. And now we are in a bathroom. We are on ISO 10,000 in a pretty dark bathroom. Now go outside again in the living room, nice living room, ISO 1250. And when I now goes to the window again, my ISO drops to 100, and I maybe need an ND filter right now, but I'm not so sure. And yes, I have to use and remove ND filters for vlogging here. So, this is the A mode vlog test. We are on f2.8 in A mode. We are set up to ISO automatic, AFC, 25 pictures per second in 4K. And the exposure is set to spot meter exposuring to my face. And we are on 8-bit portrait. And I cannot see what kind of shutter speed I am currently, because apparently this camera doesn't show this in the A mode. I don't know, maybe when it changes the exposure. No, our shutter speed is not the 180 degrees mode. It loses a little bit focus. Now it has me again. We are in a pretty dark room and I cannot see the ISO. Is the ISO irrelevant? I don't know. How's the shutter speed? Is it too fast? Is it too slow? What do you think? And now I go outside, I open the door, and now we're going in a bright sunlight, and damn, it fixes the exposure pretty fast. That's pretty nice. Now is the shutter speed maybe on ultra high. Is it a problem to have this shutter speed? Do you see a difference in the shutter speed? Because now we are on not so cinematic mode, we are on a shutter speed which is ultra fast, and we can maybe see when I've moved my hand, that's a little difference, but is it difference? Is it any problem? When I go inside, I am immediately perfect exposed, and I can move around and be perfectly exposed on f2.8 all the time. I have lost focus now. I go now in a pretty dark bathroom. The shutter speed is, I don't know what the shutter speed is, maybe 180 degrees or 300 degrees, I don't know, but I think that's still usable. I think that's still usable for a nice vlogging situation where you hold the camera and talk into the camera. Now I go in the living room again, and the exposure is fixed so fast that it's ultra easy to vlog, and I don't have to use ND filter so much, because I have a nice shallow depth of field all the time, and I look cinematic because I have a shallow depth of field. And shutter speed, do you see a difference in shutter speed? I don't know. I think sometimes you see a little bit without ND filter. Thank you very much. Welcome to my TED Talk. So welcome to my next test. Is the shutter priority mode. I have my camera again set up to 25 pictures per second in AFC mode. The exposure is set up to my face, and I film in 1/50th of the second priority shutter mode. The aperture is changing. It doesn't show me the aperture. I think it's on f3.5 now or somehow, and when I move now, will the aperture be fixed? We have the cinematic motion blur, but the aperture is closing maybe, and let's see how that works. I have my ISO on automatic. I don't know what ISO I have, but let's find out. So I press the little button behind the camera to have the autofocus continuous set up to my face. It's set up to something and we are filming on the Lumix camera, and it loses a little bit focus. When I stand still, I have focus again, which is pretty good. Now we are in the Dings room here, in the sleeping room, bedroom, and I don't know what aperture I have because it doesn't show me the aperture. Now I open the door and go outside. The focus still works a bit. And now will the aperture close. Now we are outside. The exposure changed pretty fast. It's pretty nice. I think it's still locked to my face, and we have now a pretty closed aperture, I think. Isn't it interesting that you can see now where I am and what's around me? The focus works fine on my face. I think that's okay. And we can see our surroundings because I am outside. And yes, maybe we can see outside where I am. That's pretty nice to see also the outside when I vlog, because I don't think then, yeah, that's a cinematic image because you can see everything. So I now go inside again, and let's see what the camera does now. It hopefully tracks still my face. Let's go in a darker area. We are on the fixed shutter angle. Shutter speed on 1/50th, 180 degrees shutter degrees angle. It loses the focus a bit, loses the focus again. Now it has me again, and now I go in a dark bathroom. And in the dark bathroom, will my focus lose me? Yes, a little bit. It hunts me. When I stand still, it's okay. Maybe it's because of the image stabilization. We are on some ISO failure. I don't know the ISO because it doesn't show me the ISO. And when I go out, I hope it still tracks my face a little bit, and the aperture is on something. We can see that the shallow depth of field is a little bit shallow. We can see that this nice cinematic image. Do we need a blurry background to have a cinematic image? Does someone care about my blurry background? Isn't it also nice to see where I am? Or do we always need a shallow depth of field? Welcome to my TED Talk. So that's an extra test. We are on completely intelligent automatic mode on AFC, 25 pictures per second, and I don't know what the camera is doing because it doesn't show me anything. It says hello, there's a human detected, and it tries to detect my face, I think. I set it now to hello, track my face, and that's completely ultra automatic mode. It's automatic modus, everything. Let's find out what the camera is doing right now. I think, I don't know if it also has the exposure set to my face, to spot metering. I think it has, no, it measures the whole screen because I can see that to metering, matrix, everything, I think. So let's go in a dark bathroom and let's see what the camera will do in a dark bathroom. I'm not so well exposed, of course it's losing my focus, but real filmmaker don't need autofocus. But autofocus is still nice to have. And now we're in a dark bathroom and let's see what the camera is doing. It does something. It's pretty interesting. It still tracks my face. The exposure is changing pretty fast. It hunts a little bit with the focus, in my opinion. I have set up now this rectangle to my face. I think it tracks now my face. We are not longer on face recognition, but it tracks something in my face. That's interesting. It's set on this little tracking box and tracks my face. That's interesting. So let's go outside. Let's see what the camera is doing in a completely bright sky. We have a little cloud now. Yes, I don't know what shutter speed this is. I don't know what aperture it is. Maybe that's definitely... Is it 180 degrees? I don't know. Maybe the camera thinks we are on filming mode and we have to keep the important 180 degrees shutter degrees rule, and maybe it tries to keep this. I don't know. Do we have a shallow depth of field or is it not so shallow? I think, let me zoom in a little bit. Of course it's shallow now, and we have still a little motion blur. I don't know. That's a little bit overexposed now on some situations. What does the camera do on complete standard 8-bit 25 pictures per second intelligent automatic modus? It looks pretty good for me. I don't have to care about anything. I can go back in. Let's move a little bit faster. Let's make the life for the camera a little bit harder. Let's make these 2,000 euros work. That's money. Still tracks my face. It loses my face. And it has me again. So that's okay. Now I go to the window and the exposure changes pretty fast. It tracks now my mouse because it's moving. I don't know. Let's go over here. That's a little bit darker. It says now press the button and activate AF. Let's press a button and it has now human face detection activated because it recognizes the face. That's funny. It changes also the focus mode on something depending on the situation, I think, because it's intelligent automatic. Let's go again in the darker area because that's also interesting what the Sigma 24 to 70mm lens is doing. It loses focus, but it catches focus pretty fast. I think for vlogging is also an automatic mode okay, because you don't have to care about anything, and it tracks my face pretty nice. That's okay. Welcome to my vlog. I vlog on the Lumix S5 with the Sigma 24 to 70mm f2.8 art lens. And my name is Paul. So, by the way, is in my opinion the microphone on this camera not really good, but for vlogging is this camera really good. I made also a video how to vlog with this camera. The Lumix GX80 is so light, so little, it fits in your pocket. I made the little video about this camera. It's so nice. Let's move around with this camera. We are on the dedicated film modus in 25 pictures per second 4K. I cannot see my screen. I don't know if I am in focus right now or if I'm not in focus. I will do this test only once, and it's open aperture of 3.5, amazing aperture. Is that okay? Can we use this camera also for vlogging? Yes, we can, because my shoulder is very thankful for this camera, because my shoulder doesn't die. It works pretty fine in my opinion. That's a nice little lens, and we can also zoom in this lens. I see myself in the mirror right now. That's why I don't talk to the camera a lot, because I have to judge the screen a little bit. And yes, that works pretty good in my opinion. We have a little bit shallow depth of field, we have motion blur. I don't know, does that work? I think that's pretty cool to have such a small camera if you are a beginner and if you want to purchase a nice camera for vlogging or for some scenarios. Upsala. Is this camera pretty amazing. You cannot see yourself, that's why you film sometimes in 32mm, and it's a pretty nice MFT camera. I can 100% recommend this camera. It's a nice little camera. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Let's see us in the next video. I like that Lumix camera so much. I have it with me almost every time. Almost every day I carry this camera around. It works so nice for me and I love this camera. It's pretty amazing. Sure, the GH6 is out since some 3 days, but I think I will keep my S5. Maybe I get a GH6 as a B cam. Subscribe to my channel that I can afford some English classes and to buy or get sponsored for the GH6. So that's crazy. What do you like? Which mode is okay? Do you think we can film even in the automatic, everything intelligent automatic modus? Is it so important to have a vlog in a pretty cinematic way, or do we need open aperture or 180 degree shutter degrees rule all the time? Maybe tell me, how do you see it? Me filming is right now the Lumix GX80 with a 12 to 32 millimeter kit lens on it, and I hope it does a pretty good job in autofocus. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Paul. I'm a German filmmaker. See you in the next video.